Okay, so all I've done so far is pull my image into Photoshop. Um, I did a little adjustments on my phone. I didn't use Cam Scanner, it was just the whatever Lighten is on my phone. I just used that effect, and it makes the page a bit of a cooler color. And so what I can do here is I'm going to try to work with my mouse entirely here, so you can keep up as well. So all I've done so far is lasso this out and invert it and delete everything around it. You can invert the lasso selection using Control Shift I, um, and then just delete and then Control D to deselect. Then I'm gonna, just in case, I'm gonna make a second layer here, in case I mess up. And so on that first layer, we are going to set it to multiply. And then what we can do is hit Control L. And that'll bring up our levels, and we can just kind of pull that back. And that seemed to work pretty well, but I did lose quite a bit here. I'm going to see what happens if I um, identify what white is to these levels here. So you can do that by using these color pickers here. Um, this one on the left sets your black point, this one in the middle sets your gray point, and this one on the right sets your white point, and those are correspondent to these sliders here. And so what I can do is, I know that this area was where I was getting some shadow in my picture. I'll set that white to, you can try this area, but then you might lose a lot of detail here. So I'm going to try this area first. So if I do that, it kept the lines here, but now we're missing this area here. So now we can just mess with the slider, see if we can lighten that, and then pull this one back. So that's not really working in my favor here, so I'm going to undo that all. So cancel, and then I'll try to color pick somewhere else. So I'll set my white here. That seemed to work quite well, and then only thing is you can see there's some fringing here, or some leftover of the paper. And that I think we could fix with the slider here, and then pull this one. I can pull that back. I'm actually not too worried about that leftover there. But I don't like the graininess here, so I'm just messing around with the sliders until I find something that works. And I can zoom out while I'm in levels, so I can look at the whole image a bit easier. So I like this because it keeps the detail here in the hip, but I don't like that because it makes the foot grainy. So I like to pull back. So I might do a mixture of the two. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep one here. And then what I can do is go onto my second layer here. Same thing, do my levels, identify that white spot somewhere in here. And then I can pull, why is it not working? Hold on. Oh, because we're on the same one. We're on the same layer. Okay, we want to do here. This. Okay. Now I can move my sliders around and I can retain that detail there. And then what I can do here is take my eraser and I want to see what area I like of which one. So what I'm looking at is where do I like the detail on this second one and where do I not like detail. So I don't like how dark it is here in the foot, but I do like how it is in the hip here. So I'm going to take my eraser and I can just erase that area with my mouse. Then I can also lighten up this area on the butt here. But it lets me keep the detail in the hip. So if I were to turn this bottom layer off, you can see now that area is completely gone because I have erased it from the upper layer. If I turn it back on, now I've got those areas back. And so that's how you can do it with a mouse. But I think that might have kind of been a lucky shot because this one happened to work pretty well. in my favor with the levels. But hopefully it works for you. I don't know how good your pictures are.